Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The people can no longer hold back over the issue of emergency rule in Rivers State. And different persons from different quarters are coming out to express their displeasure over what is happening in the state. And some still feel that this case must be dragged before the law court for there to be a conclusive position by the judiciary in respect to it. And this time around is coming from a former member of the House of Representatives. And in 2023, Governor Shiba Asparan talking about Farah Dagogo, and he has filed a suit against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas, and the sole administrator of Rivers State, Vice Admiral Wike retired. And the reason is over the issue of declaration of state of emergency in Rivers State. It has been learned that the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, has scheduled May 12, 2025 for the substantive hearing of the case which challenges the suspension of Governor Siminalayi Fubara and members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. In the case titled suit number FHC/PH/CA/50/2025, presided over by Justice Adamu Turaki Mohammed, Dagogo is seeking judicial intervention regarding what he considered unconstitutional action in the declaration of emergency rule in Rivers State. He is also challenging the imposition of Vice Admiral Wike retired as sole administrator. Dagogo argued that the suspension of elected officials and the imposition of an unelected administrator violates democratic principle and undermines the rule of law in the state. Due to challenges in personally serving the defendants with legal documents, the court granted an application for substitute service during proceeding held on April 9, 2025. The plaintiff legal team, led by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, C.I. Enweluzo, filed a motion ex parte on April 8, 2025. An affidavit supporting the motion was deposed by Solomon Ayutamunu, a litigation assistant at Liberty Chambers, with additional support from legal team members Femi Adebite Esquire, Monday Dai Esquire, Dazo Jack, and D. Bewere Esquire. Now, Justice Mohammed approved the application and ordered that a hearing notice and court document be served to defendants via DHL courier to their last known addresses, including President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Aso Rock Presidential Villa, Asokoro, Abuja, Senate President and the Senate of the Federal Republic, National Assembly Complex, 3 Arms Zone, Abuja, Speaker of the House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, 3 Arms Zone, Abuja, Vice Admiral Wike Abbas retired, Rivers State Government House, Old GRA, Port Harcourt. On March 18, 2025, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu declared state of emergency in Rivers State, suspending democratic governance for an initial 6-month period. And the declaration includes the appointment of Vice Admiral Wike retired as sole administrator, a move that was ratified by National Assembly despite widespread public and political controversy. Now you can see that it's going beyond just one person, registering their displeasure. And I love the fact that Nigerians are coming to terms with the reality of democracy, that it actually belongs to us, no matter the high position and the high offices anyone will occupy in democracy. The people actually put you there, and that for that reason, if you go against the tenet of democracy, you can be sued. And I love the fact that even to Mohammed, the man who is in charge of the case, has spelled out how these documents are going to get to them, stating all their own addresses one after the other, that before the exact, I think, May 12, when this case will come alive, that they should send in their representative. And, the reason why this is really good, if I must say something about it, is the fact that this is to put them under tension for that 6 months. Because I tell you the truth, if there are no court cases or there is no move to rebuff this action and to question its unconstitutionality, you will be so shocked that we will get to that 6 months and we walk past that 6 months and they will continue with it. But I must say, no matter what is going on, the president himself needs to understand that one of the reasons why most people look the other way and gave him all their support was not because that he was the best qualified, but some looked at him as one of the key advocate of democracy. Far back, he was a great fighter against military junta. That's talking about Abacha. He fought against him and declared his position against military rule in Nigeria. And nobody was looking at it based on the fact that he was a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1992. Everybody was looking at it from the perspective that he is a good Democrat. So even when he came on board and with the little he did in Rivers State, everybody just believed that, come on, this man will be the best when it comes to the issue of democracy. So now that we have gotten to this point, if he doesn't listen and also take into consideration the position of the law in respect to this, I am very afraid that this may be a very reasonable tool in the hands of his political adversary during the 2027 election. Nigerians, no matter what, we do not want to see anything called militarization of this country. Military rule, nobody wants to see it in the history of Nigeria, because we can reflect, we can remember what Nigerians went through when the military were in power. So trying to introduce them, using backdoor to introduce them in the name of one particular man restoring back his structure and all of that. If you allow it, Nigerians will say you are not fit enough to be there. I love the fact that Farah Dagogo, though he was, under serious pressure when Wike, I could still remember Dagogo when Wike was in power. That time he wanted to go for governorship, but we knew what he went through. He went through real hell. I thank God that he's still alive till today, but he went through real hell. So I thank God that such men are not holding back. They are still coming out so strong and pushing to ensure that what is right is done. My colleagues in the House, what's your standpoint on the move taken by Farah Dagogo to see how this unconstitutionality in Rivers State is put under check and stopped immediately?
It's nice that they're going through the legal process, legal way, but truth be told, even if they're trying to put the judiciary in a little more pressure, judging the fact that over time we have seen the judgments of some judges in the judiciary, and Nigerians are watching to see the standpoint of the judiciary in all of this drama. But be that as it may, we also know that there's this technical dynamics they usually apply, especially when the case does not or doesn't seem to favor the government. They usually adjourn cases in an annoying manner. Case that should have been done and dusted within 3 to 6 months. If care is not taken, they will adjourn that thing beyond 6 months, 6 months stay of even Ibokite Ibas, such that you begin to wonder that at the end of the day, they will strike out the case as frivolous because the man in question here is no longer in Rivers. But what I am perceiving, I stand to be corrected, but that's what I perceive. I perceive that they want to so annoy football supporters to the point that they can't take it anymore. They will react. Then they will now have a good and tangible reason to sustain and extend the stay of the retired admiral. But my fear now is not about it being sustained or him being sustained. My fear is that when a circle begins, it's difficult to cut it because there's hunger in the land. Other factors may come into cognizance here. But it's good enough that people are coming in to do suits. But notice the way it's been going. Despite the protests made by the women, despite the suit, the guy is behaving as if people are talking. Whatever. That's
a military man.
Do you understand? So
for me, I don't blame him. Nobody should even blame him. I don't think anybody should blame him.
It's as if we are talking to blackboard. It does not hear. It does not. He's still moving on with instruction. Obey the last command. Exactly. That's what you understand. So at some point, when you get his attention is when they now begin to go the other way.
All right, we'll leave it there. Let's begin our comment session. What's your standpoint, being that the Riverians are becoming very uncomfortable?